This is probably the lowest I have seen the fear grid index in quite a while, and that's understandable. There's a lot of fear happening right now in the market. But before I even start this video, this isn't financial advice, your own research. I'm happy to let you know that I have quadrupled my dollar cost average. I did say that if Bitcoin dipped under $80,000 that I was going to quadruple my daily purchase. So this morning, of course, when it did that, well, I was asleep when it did it, but when I woke up to see that it had dipped underneath 80, I went ahead and bought 4 times as much in terms of crypto that I would normally buy daily. And that's looking really good. I'm in my dollar cost average portfolio. Obviously, I'm sort of down-ish now because, the market has gone down 10 to 20% since I started doing this. But the dream of buying Bitcoin at under $80 or XRP under $2, I managed to snag some under $2 this morning on Binance. So that was awesome. And I picked up some other, US-based tokens, Hedera. I skipped Solana because I know a lot of people are talking positive about Solana, but I think there's some FUD incoming. So I'm going to wait till Solana dips a little bit harder before I even make a move on that. Look at that. In the last 7 days, it's a quarter down 25%. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, because I've been around for multiple bull runs and multiple bear markets, I understand that this is a very, very normal part of the whole process. I know a lot of people are sort of scared and panicking right now, but we know why this is happening, and we know that this isn't a real thing, right? This is people dumping, especially Wall Street, because of 2 things. First of all, there was that panic that was set off by the hacks of Bybit. So that is in Wall Street. That is just, FUD and Binance and all these exchanges and people panicking and getting their coins off. But then, Trump has announced a whole bunch of tariffs. One is against China, which, of course, China is going to retaliate. We know that because that's what China does. Because China is not a small country, and China is a world economy and world power. So they will retaliate, and they have the tools to retaliate, right? BTC price weekly was stretched to minus 18% after Trump announced additional tariffs on China, and spot Bitcoin ETF outflows continue. So the ETF outflows, which probably are informed by the behavior on Wall Street as well, because a lot of these big, billionaires and big funds and the like are advised by financial advisors from Wall Street, right? So, if Wall Street is dumping risk on assets, that's the advisor they're going to give their clients, and their clients are going to do the same. So Bitcoin drops after Trump announced another 10%, an additional 10%. So this isn't the original one. This is an additional 10% on top of that. Okay. And again, people are anticipating a full-on trade war with China, which will be devastating for consumers because China produces probably the vast majority of things that are consumed in the United States and elsewhere. So a trade war with China is never a great idea. I mean, you can understand why he's doing it. Make America great again, America first, etc. But, the dependencies on places like China, that's gone too far. And I'm afraid there might not be any way back to claw that back now, right? The other thing that maybe people don't realize is that he also announced a massive tariff against the EU, which is coming soon. 25% tariffs on EU will be announced soon. So hasn't done it yet as of 26th of February. Today is the last day of February, so it's been a couple of days. So chances of that's out. I haven't looked at the latest news. This is just the stuff I saw on the BBC yesterday. US President Donald Trump has said he is planning to hit goods made in the European Union with tariffs of 25%, claiming the bloc was created to screw the United States. What? It's like, I don't know, man. Trump is a bit mad. But, you know why he's doing it, right? We'll be announcing it very soon, he told reporters at an appearance with members of his cabinet. It would be 25% generally speaking, and that would be on cars and other things. So That's going to affect places like, France with the Peugeots, Italy with the Fiats and, Ferraris and stuff like that. Germany is a big one with, BMW and Mercedes. But then, the United Kingdom is not in the EU, so I think we might be exempt from this. Mind you, we probably have our own specially crafted tariffs coming our way. But knowing the UK, we're just going to bend over backwards and do what Trump says, right? Because we are, never mind Canada or Iceland or any of those places, the UK, we are already the 51st state of the United States. And we just do what the US says. We bend over backwards and we take orders from the United States. So I'm not worried about the UK. We're just, mind you though, we do have a sort of communist government at the moment that is anti-Trump. So they might put up a little bit of a resistance, but I mean, we don't create anything here in this country anymore. So we're sort of dependent on the US for welfare and protection at the moment. Which is a sad state of the affairs. Anywho, oh, the UK. Anyway, the EU, will they respond? I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? The EU will talk to Trump, obviously, because, the United States and the EU are allies of each other. So I'm sure they'll send people to the table and they'll negotiate. This is classic Trump, where he exaggerates so that he can come to the table and do a better deal. It's the whole art of the deal thing, right? Well, back to crypto prices. These are insane prices, guys. Even though you might want to keep in mind that $80,000, which is the price right now, is still higher than the previous all-time high. Okay, so we're still sort of, bigger picture in price discovery. Ooh, that's a bit of a, it shows, like normally when you zoom out, right, you don't actually notice the dip. See these dips that happen here? They don't seem as dramatic, but now it's actually put the 1 year chart almost in a Bart Simpson-esque shape. So it's a significant drop, right? But if you look over the whole lifetime of crypto and of Bitcoin, it's something that we've seen before during bull markets, right? So I'm not panicking. I don't think the bull market is over by any stretch of the imagination. I think that, we still have Bitcoin heading for at least 150,000 in this cycle. And I think that the alts are still going to run pretty hard. We haven't had that alt season yet. XRP, holding up quite nicely, considering, if you compare it with Bitcoin, for instance, it's pretty much on the same, dipped a little bit harder, but, that's because, it's an altcoin, right? To me, this is a dream price for XRP, and I can't believe that we got this opportunity again. I mean, I believe it because I know that these dips happen, but I think that this is another opportunity. So, I've been buying more, as you guys know, but I've been conservative with my purchases until now. It's dipped to the point where 23% in the last 7 days. That's a lot. For us to get back to what it was 7 days ago, it's got to go up almost 50% to get back to where it was. So, I mean, I know people have run out of dry powder because, we're at hard times. People are suffering around the world. People are broke. Maybe people FOMO'd in with all of their money, at $3 and $3.50. And now we're back to $2 and they're in massive loss. Some people are 50% down. Some people are 70% down, depending on when you went in hard. But, panic selling now is pretty much the worst thing you can do. Not financial advice, your own research. You're best just logging off, stopping watching YouTube videos about XRP or whatever. And, if you have a job, just focus on your job and come back next month and have a look at your charts. Because looking every day is just going to give you heart problems. But, if you're okay with that, you can watch the charts, dollar cost average when you see opportunities like this one. And just realize that, there's a lot of noise in the market, lots of FUD going around, lots of people trying to make you panic sell. And now at this point is when people are most vulnerable. And this is when you're going to see the most negativity being released. People are going to write articles about how XRP is going to zero, and they're going to leave out the fact that all coins are down significantly. And they won't mention that of all of these coins, XRP is performing amongst the best. But they're going to attack you. They're going to call you stupid. And it's going to affect some people, especially, if you need the money and have to sell, to pay mortgage or whatever, bills. And that's a problem, obviously, which is why you shouldn't invest money that you're willing to lose. Or at least when you invest, make sure you have something at the side that, you can live your life with, so you can have a mid to long term outlook. Unfortunately, what's going to happen though is a lot of people are going to panic sell, and the minute they finish capitulating, the price is going to spiral back up. And then, they're going to miss out on the generational wealth. Fingers crossed the SEC will dismiss the case. Actually, it's probably best they don't dismiss the case now, because that news, which will be good news, might be drowned away in this whole downturn. We want it to coincide perfectly. That would be the best case scenario, to coincide with a good recovery. So when the price starts to recover and Bitcoin and all the other currencies are spiraling up, boom, the SEC then dismisses the case, and all that coincides. That's going to light a fire underneath the price of XRP. And all of that FOMO money that would have gone into Bitcoin and all the others are going to flow dramatically into XRP. Anyway, not financial advice. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself. Peace.